Hey, folks, and welcome back. We're going to continue with our NFL half-season wrap-up, second half predictions. We're done with the AFC. We're going to move on to the NFC conference. And we're going to start with the NFC West, which, in my opinion, is the most competitive division in football. You got the Arizona Cardinals, San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, and the St. Louis Rams. Tula, talk to me about the West.
Well, first, I'm going to eat a little bit of crow. I owe Mr. Richard Walker a huge apology for laughing in his face, actually, when he picked the Arizona Cardinals to win the division. They are not only in the lead to win the division, but they are 6-1, 2 games ahead, and their quarterback situation, no matter who's in there, Carson Palmer or Drew Stanton, seems to be all right. And I can definitely see this being a two-man horse between Seattle and Arizona, simply because San Francisco, I don't trust Kaepernick to, for some reason, to be who I saw him as a player the last couple of years.
They figured him out.
Maybe, yeah, they figured him out, or I don't know what, but I just think Arizona and Seattle intrinsically are a better team. So I'm stubborn. I'm going to stick with my pick with Seattle to win the division, even though they probably won't. But I thought I owed my colleague over here an apology for the little scoffing I gave him for his pick. But yeah, I'm still sticking with Seattle.
Okay.
Appreciate
You're
it.
still sticking with Seattle?
I'm stubborn like that, yeah.
Okay. My man, I like that. Joe Vet, NFC West.
NFC West, of course, the Arizona Cardinals are at the top right now. We have Bruce Arians, a.k.a. the quarterback reviver, and reviving Carson Palmer's career, which he should have stayed in Pittsburgh, but that's another thing, Mike Tomlin, for getting rid of him, you ass clown.
I knew we was going to get one this show.
Yeah, you knew you was going to get one, right? But I'm going to stick with the Seattle Seahawks as well. Now, the Seattle Seahawks, they're going to have to do some catching up. They're going to have to figure some things out, because with losing Percy Harvin, because he has destroyed himself personally. I wouldn't want Percy Harvin on the team, because Russell Wilson, quote unquote, is not black enough. What you trying to say, Percy Harvin? You'd have been to the doggone Minnesota Vikings, and you were going to be a very impact player, and then to tell your coach that you're not going back out on the field, no, and you're getting paid $60 million.
He didn't say anything about Christian Ponder not being good enough.
Yeah, he just, yeah, exactly. So, San Francisco with Colin Kaepernick, I don't care. As long as he's at that quarterback position, they will never win a Super Bowl, because when was the last time you ever seen a running quarterback win a Super Bowl? You have to play that position from the pocket, because the NFL is a scheme game, not a technique game where you play, just this X's and O's. You have to have a scheme. And once last year when they were in the NFC Championship game and he took off and ran that game, that's when the Seattle Seahawks say, you know what, that game is in the bag.
And that's
right
what
now.
I was saying with
because
Tua.
it's a totally different game.
They've got film on him, and they figured him out. Keep him in the pocket. Make him beat you with his arm. He's got a good arm. He can throw.
Yeah. But when you force them to be one-dimensional, if he's going to take off and run, I'll take that team, whoever he's playing against, anytime when he starts running the ball.
Now that they know what he's about.
Exactly. So I'm sticking with the Seahawks. Arizona Cardinals, they're going to make a very push for it. But Patrick Peterson with the concussion now, how long will that last? Tyrann Mathieu, defensively,
he's back.
He's
this
back.
Week, yeah.
But how,
They are 6-1.
6-1.
Yeah. I mean,
there's got to be a couple laps for them to.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
they
they got to catch up. They 6-1. Rich, what you got?
Well, like I said from the very beginning, Arizona Cardinals. And once again, I was right now. Not like I'm trying to go.
They ain't won it yet. Now. It's halfway.
However, so far, Arizona defensively speaking, solid all the way around. Even after the loss of Darnell Dockett, who was a preseason, a big loss, but they found a way to continue to be the third best run defensive team in the league. Like I said before, you got teams that can stop opposing teams from running the football. You win games by forcing them to rely on the pass. And then it just happens to have one of the best secondaries in the league. So that feeds right into their hands.
Shout out to Pat Pete. We met Pat Pete at the Advocare Kickoff Classic. Cool, super cool dude. Pat Pete, you my man.
Yeah, you're really nice guy. But offensively speaking, not only do you have Carson Palmer and Drew Stanton playing well, The untold story is the player rookie Andre Ellington, the running back.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing great. So all around, Arizona is the best team in that division, and they will be winning division title. I still think the Seahawks are a playoff team. You'd be crazy to write them off so early.
Yep.
I do think that, and I perhaps someone needs to translate this. I don't know if you can see this here, but someone may need to translate this for Colin Kaepernick. You see this? This is called a defense. I know you can't read it, Colin, but that's why you and your buddies in gold and red are going to be at home watching the playoffs, because you cannot read a defense. So invite the Rams over and enjoy the playoffs, because you won't be there.
And you know what? That's typical of run read quarterback. I mean, quarterbacks that come from a spread system in college, they only have to make one read.
Yeah.
So that always hurts.
Kind of like Randall Cunningham when he first came
Yep.
in with the Eagles. Michael Vick when he first came in with Atlanta. Now, as those quarterbacks evolved, they got better at it. Like when Randall went to Minnesota in his waning years, and they went 15-1. He was a little bit, but then again, he's throwing to Randy Moss and Chris Carter. I mean, you could throw to them.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Arizona.
who you got, Rich?
Arizona Cardinals.
So Arizona
Arizona
Seattle,
Cardinals and Seattle is the
Arizona.
sleeper. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to go with, I still think the Seattle Seahawks is one of the better teams in the division, but just for the sake of saying that the Cardinals are already 6-1. Like one of you said, I think it was you, they're going to have a monumental collapse for somebody to catch them. Like you said, their defense is out of this world. Good run game. They still got Fitz and Palmer and Stanton, even though he did go to Michigan State, is playing well. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go with those guys as well. But like you, I still think the Seattle Seahawks are a playoff team. Okay, so we got 2 further cards, and I think I did pick Seattle preseason. Who knew Arizona was going to come out like this?
I did.
Who of us knew this?
He actually did.
Yeah, he did. He called it. I can't even hate. Hey, the man called it. So the West is down. Let's go to the NFC North division. Yeah, somebody at this table has a vested interest in the NFC North. Go Lions.
Oh boy.
Tula, talk to me about the NFC North.
NFC North obviously is a 2-team race. Unfortunately for the Bears, they have a good offense minus their quarterback.
Again.
I do not understand, how that's happened. But you're looking at Detroit and Green Bay. I am going to go ahead with Green Bay to win this division. I trust their quarterback more. Detroit, however, I like how they're winning. They're winning with their defense, not necessarily just slinging the ball around 40 times a game.
Still doing that.
What?
They're still doing that.
Oh yeah, I know. That's why I'm not picking them.
Yeah.
I don't trust Stafford. He is a great fantasy quarterback, but he is just shaky at times. He makes some bonehead throws, and I just don't trust it. I can't pick against Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to go with them. I can see Detroit making the playoffs. I can definitely see them making the playoffs. That really depends on whether Philadelphia or Seattle kind of collapses. But I'm going with Green Bay to win the division.
Okay.
Like Aaron Rodgers assured us, don't worry.
Well, in this division, in the NFC North, we all had that high expectation for the Chicago Bears because it was the second year of Mark Trestman's offense, Jay Cutler being a quarterback who has a live arm that can rip it. You have Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall out there on the end. Matt Forte is the running back. And, the defense, of course, which has been consistent year in and year out. But you can never discount the Green Bay Packers. Now, Aaron Rodgers being the quarterback that he is something special, being the understudy of Brett Favre and also being able to utilize his smarts. Not only that, but the run game with Eddie Lacy, who is playing out of his mind, bringing old school football back. And then Clinton Dix playing the center field in Green Bay. I have to go Green Bay. Now, I will still say this. Detroit may get to the playoffs. Let's just see, because who knows? They did come back from down 21 points in London, against the horrible Atlanta Falcons team. But who comes back from 21 points down, no matter what team you're on?
The Lions.
The Lions. They've done it. But can Calvin Johnson get back healthy and continuously stay healthy, will Matthew Stafford continue to make the right decisions? Can Brandon Pettigrew, emerge as a better tight end? Can he get better? So let's just see. But I'm riding with the Packers.
And Detroit is 6-2. It's going to have to be another monumental collapse for them not to make the playoffs.
Like the one we had last year.
Right, I was about to say.
Big Rich.
Well, I'm going to stick with my original pick. I was the only one who picked the Detroit Lions, and I stick with the Detroit Lions. I got more faith in the Lions than you do, Mitchell Proctor.
Just because you ain't been following them for 30 years like I have. I'm just keeping it real with you.
One of the things that has impressed me about this team is that they are successful in spite of not having access to Megatron. For, was it 2-3 games that he didn't play?
Well, 2.5. He went out. He went out, so a half and then 2 full
2.5 games without Megatron, without the most explosive offensive player in the league. And they're still winning. They're winning with defense. They're winning ugly games. They're winning the kind of games that they used to lose. Mm-hmm. And so early on in the season, and they have a ton of injuries. You got Reggie Bush. Is injured almost every week, but they're as the season goes along, not only they continue to win, they're learning how to gel. I think Caldwell's got them headed in the right direction, and as they get healthier going towards the playoffs, I don't see any reason why they would have a collapse. Of course, we're talking about Detroit, but I don't see any reason why they would have a collapse. I expect them to go ahead and close the deal out. And Green Bay's defense scares me.
Yeah,
their defense.
It's been like that the past couple of years. So we've got Green Bay, Detroit. Yeah. Now, it's fun how everybody's looking at me, right? Mm-hmm. I did, not going to lie to you all, I did pick the Green Bay Packers to win this division preseason. Simply because, like I told Rich, I've been watching the Detroit Lions for 30 years. And I've seen some collapses. I still did not have a trust in my Detroit Lions. But I tell you what, they got my trust back. And you alluded to it earlier, they used to find ways to lose. Now they find ways to win. We missed Calvin Johnson for 3 games. Mm-hmm. We missed Reggie Bush for 2. Mm-hmm. Joique Bell, one game we had Theo Riddick. Wow. Exactly. You see how y'all looking at me?
The guy for the Cosby Show.
Cosby Show and Vin Diesel. No. Yeah. I mean, they're finding ways to win. Golden Tate has stepped up his game. Mm-hmm. I overreacted to his contract. I'm like, $30 million. You saw my blog that I posted. Mm-hmm. Golden Tate, my brother, if I ever meet you, owe you an apology. I didn't think that Golden Tate was going to do what he's doing. He stepped up. We're getting some production out of the young receivers. I mean, we did lose Nick Fairley. He's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks with a knee. But Sue, and the main thing that I like is that, like you said, Caldwell has this team playing like a team. There's no riffraff. There's no junk going on outside of the stadium. Everything is about football, and he's got them working. So I'm going to change my pick to I think the Lions will not collapse this year. I think we get everybody back healthy. We get Calvin back. But I'm with you. Matthew Stafford still scares me. But we still got the number one. I can't fix my mouth to say the Detroit Lions have the number 1 ranked defense in football. That's been our Achilles heel for the past
30 years.
30 years, exactly. 30 years. And now we finally got it working. So I'm going to pick my Lions to win this division. It's going to be tight. It's going to come down to like the last week of the season. But I think we'll get it done this year. We're finding ways to win. So we've got that knocked out. And, of course, we got to go pay some bills. I'm Mitchell Brock, and we'll be right back to finish up after this break.